Alright guys, so I just finished building the 22 Elite, and let me tell you, it was a way smoother build than the SR was and that the AC was. Mostly because all the screws went in super well this time. And I think I'm also getting to know the TLR products a lot better, so I know which steps to do before other steps. So really, the only thing I would change in the manual is put the servo in earlier when you're putting the steering rack in, and that saves you a lot of time down the road because they want you to like pop on the ball and stuff once the bulkhead's all on and you can't really get to it. But if you put on the servo earlier, it's all good. One thing I did notice is the ball cups feel a little looser than both the AC and the SR did. Actually kind of annoying to adjust. If you're trying to adjust them, I did put grease on them. They kind of tend to pop off, sadly. Other than that, I love the murdered out look. So definitely is heavier than the SR without a body. This weighs about 1520. The SR was just under 1500. But totally different drivetrain essentially, and this isn't claiming to be a spec car. So final point, and the only real difficulty I had with the build was, I have some B-roll of it, the rear axle, the new VHA axle, instead of using a set screw, it actually uses a bearing to hold the drive pin in place. So, which is super good in theory, because less parts, less faffing around, it could theoretically never get loose. So I had difficulty with one of those, and I think it was a little too long, and the actual insert was not machined very well, so it was really hard to put on. But then when I was able to put it on, when I couldn't get the bearing over it, and when I did kind of get the bearing over it, it would kind of lock up and bind up. Not a huge deal, but it is annoying, especially for those new people. I'm gonna chalk this up to literally first batch of cars problem, or first batch quality problem for mine. I'm sure 90% of the cars they ship out don't have this problem, and I just was the lucky one. So I just dremeled it a little bit, super free, super smooth. The ball diff, I assembled it like TLR shows on their Facebook page, and broke it in how they show, and feels super smooth, really nice. And yeah, I'm really happy with the build. Now it's off to Surf City, see how I do. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, as usual, you want to have a pretty clean workspace. I know it's not clean right now, but just so you know, I did buy the direct drive just to give me some tuning options at Surf. If the bite is high enough, I'll install it. And also the spindle inserts, I believe it comes with aluminum ones, but only on the outer. So you definitely want these inner and outer. Hardware, as always, very nice to have some spares. And yeah, a huge shout out to local team driver Mikey Bustamante. He's actually the one that's been kind of helping me through and guiding me through the whole TLR life change, switch. So, yeah. So instead of using their stuff, I will be using TDK, my brand, thrust bearing and ball diff grease. Really, really good stuff. Clean, healthy compared to those. Yeah. Non-toxic, biodegradable. Really the real deal, and extremely well performing. Okay guys, so now it's time for the turnbuckles. Got the ball diff built, nice and smooth. Lots of grease in there. Just cleaned it up a little bit. I love the machining on TLR parts. So for building your turnbuckle, You can use this, the TLR wrench. Not ideal. I'd recommend the MIP wrenches or the Huddy wrench. I like the MIPs for doing adjustments while it's on the car. And I don't have a 4mm, but I use this for the titanium ones that I have on my other car, which are Lunsford, which is 3.7mm. But these, the TLR ones, are 4mm. I'm going to use the Huddy one. And I'm actually going to use this vise, which for some people it might actually scare them. But nonsense, booby pants. I've done it a couple times and it works really well. So let's get started. We'll build the steering link first. So, you definitely want a vise with rubber guards so you don't ruin the turnbuckle, the cups. Yeah. So open it up, close it up pretty tight, and then read instructions. For some reason, I like starting with the counter thread ones. Just, I don't know why. So look how easy this makes it. Since the little Huddy thing has the little ball, it kind of works as like a little rotation. And it's great. You don't damage the cup at all. A little bit of grease. Start it by hand. So I've seen people use this method, but they put a drill at the end. Don't do that. Just don't do that. You're gonna ruin something. Just take your time. It's 9 p.m. Just take your time. If I can have this car done by midnight, that would be ideal. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna assemble the shocks. I put the collars on and the O-rings on the bodies, just because that's mega boring to watch. Next we're gonna put the X-rings. Then you're just gonna use TDK shock assembly lube. Make sure the whole X-ring is covered. Then put this. I'm hoping I don't have to sand these down. I don't think I will. Because on the old kit, or the normal G3 shocks, a lot of people have had problems with them leaking out or binding up, and that's usually due to these spacers either being way too big and squishing and really squishing the X-rings, or too small and yeah, not providing the support they need. I love the machining on TLR stuff. It's truly very nice. So that's one shock bottom assembled, because for sure you won't scratch up your shafts that way, especially if they're the more expensive, like titanium nitride coated or whatever. Just gets, that's a very underrated product in my opinion. So this is definitely a rear shock shaft. So we're gonna do the 1/6. Nope. The rear is gonna use 1/7/1/6. Use a little washer. Also, a very cool thing about all the TLRs now is that they come with machine pistons, which definitely bonus points because that is one of the most common upgrades. I hate this tool. This is the most annoying part. And front is going to be 22. So with TLR shocks, you measure the stroke from the body to this little step. If you do it to the actual body of the eyelet, you're going to get the wrong group settings. So it's asking for 22 mil, 21.97. So just back it off a hair. Literally just eighth of a turn. 22.04 to me. So the fad now is getting that vacuum pump, put these in, vacuum out all the air bubbles. Yeah, that probably works really, really well, but I don't have time for that. I believe, oh man, this is going together. I know I've only done the shocks, the turnbuckles, and the diff, but this is going together super smooth. I had to sand down a couple of the inserts on the AC, so happy with that. So next up, guys, is the steering rack. This has been an option part for 22s for a little bit now. Not entirely sure how long, but yeah. And apparently, big difference. Because not only is there less slop, it's way more durable. So that is also, I know this is out of order, but I will be mounting the servo now. Because it is very annoying to do this once the whole front end is assembled. Okay, so now that the servo is centered, you want to get it as close to center as possible. Cool. Sorry guys, I thought I was recording that. So the kit comes with aluminum outer trail bearing holders and plastic inner ones, but I went ahead and bought the aluminum inner ones too, strictly for durability. And I love the murdered out look of the axles and everything. Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Next. Because it's not just like the main parts are murdered out, it's pretty much everything. Okay guys, so got the transmission built. I'm gonna start off with the slipper, just to calm down the rear end a little bit, but if traction's good enough, I will be putting the direct drive in it. And that actually saves like 10 grams, so I have to be careful what I do. So now, bag G. This is one of the new components. Well, this is like the whole new rear end.